We're at the halfway point of Outer Banks. We're going to take it back again with another video. It is season 3, episode 5, and this one is Heists. And we do get a train heist this episode. Did it live up to Breaking Bad's train heist? No. Will the Mayans potentially live up to this one when they premiere on May 24th? Probably not, because it's not going to have hee-haw to do with a train. But this train heist was not that good because, right, basically, the Pogues think that Rafe is transferring the cross on the train, right? And he may have done that, he may not have done that. Turns out he hasn't done that, and we'll get to that bit at the end of the episode. But the whole stuff with the train, I didn't think the whole stopping the train, I mean, they actually used, like, chemistry. Which is weird, because, like, here they use chemistry, but in Breaking Bad, they literally just used a broke down truck. Now I get it, right? The broke down truck will take longer than what they had to move here, which is essentially just a bunch of power cables on the line. So therefore that option was kind of, irrelevant in Breaking Bad. But it's weird that they would use a chemical element in this, but in Breaking Bad they would just use a truck that its batteries humped on the railroad. But anyway, I digress, man. They use that. The train stops, so you've got Pope. He is trying to get the cross back for his family. I mean, his dad let him go, but he wasn't too happy about it. But Pope's trying to push the whole slave trade thing, which, of course, this whole cross came from Big Denmark's diary, and his dad's like, nah, it's not happening, Pope's son. So they open up the train car, and then, before it's half open, but then one of the train drivers comes down and is like, what are you two kids doing? And then, I can't even remember what the name of the other person is, man, but Pope's like, oh, we're in love, we're trying to get across the train tracks and get to a state where we can legally get married, because I think they're like, 17, so they're not 18 yet, right? And this guy, right, even though it was so obvious that these two were trying to break into this train, he's like, no, I'm going to have to call the authorities, the police, I'm sorry. I thought this bit was fucking actually horrendous. Like, why would this guy buy this story? Like, I mean, I have no problem with buying the story, but, like, surely he would be aware of what's actually in this train carriage, or at least, would think this train is carrying high-value cargo, and this guy is letting these two kids try and break in so they can hitch a ride to a state that they can get legally married, and thought that was ridiculous, honestly, I did. But eventually, he walks off, and then we see the return of Hopper. So Hopper, Sarah, and JJ show up. They're managing to get the cross into the back of the pickup truck. But then the guy who was like seeing them like 2 minutes ago looks back, and I mean, he must be about 100 meters away from them, right? And what, he didn't hear the car pull up, he didn't hear, this fucking cross that probably weighs about 500 pounds getting like lifted into the back of a pickup truck. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, I mean, it really is. That would be like, Cammy Hayes, who was driving the train, right, in Breaking Bad. That would be like if he walked the whole way back, saw Walt, Jesse, and he's like, oh, what are you guys doing? I was like, oh, we're trying to catch tarantulas here out in the desert, and they've got that wee kid in the bike there revving his fucking engine on the window, right? And he's like, oh, you take care. Then he gets like halfway back and he sees them on top of the train, and he's like, ah, you bastard. I mean, come on, man. How fucking retarded is the driver of this train? Stupid. But we cut to Big John and John B., the father and son duo that, I mean, I can't actually, there's not really father and son duos that I can really think of in TV history. The bloodline, the actual blood, but basically they need to break into this museum in order to steal this whole magical healing potion, even though it's not really magical healing potion, but also the whole statue, which they managed to do, right? There's a funny scene where John B holds this like old woman at gunpoint, but he doesn't do it very well, and she basically says, I'm disappointed in you, son, and drives off. And Big John goes to his son, he's like, you're not exactly Jesse James, are you? Road Dog Jesse James. No, he's not Road Dog Jesse James, he's just some bum. And then when they deliver it to Limbury, she thinks that Big John has not held up his end of the deal, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing, Big Match John? He's like, no, I did. Then he gives her this healing thing, because of course she's got, I don't know what condition she's got, man. But she thinks it's legit, and she stands up and starts walking. And he goes to John B after, no, it's fake. So hold on here, right? She's got this illness, and I get it, right? If some people think they're cured or whatever, they can maybe feel the strength from within, and they'll stand up. But realistically, in the long run, I mean, this is basically where the episode ends. I don't see how she can buy this. I feel like this season it's almost took like the fucking believability out of this show. I feel like this stuff is a bit retarded, in my opinion. But yeah, like I said, they're driving with the cross, but the guy sees them. The police show up. We get a bit of a police chase. JJ's on his bike. He basically distracts him, right? And this is ridiculous, right? He basically sacrifices himself here. He throws a rock at the police, so the police start chasing him. They're escaping with the cross, and they're like, no, we have to go back for JJ. We have to. Right, I get it, right? Oh, you never leave a man behind, that sort of mentality. But the guy's literally letting you get on with your objectives. Here, the main objective here was to steal the cross, and they're willing to like literally get them all arrested. Because let's be real, if you're carrying this heavy ass cross, you're not going to escape from a police cruiser, but you are going to escape if the police are chasing the bike and you are away. But they go back for him, but then they try and go back for him, but he ends up going on the overpass, and then he flies off his bike. The police car crashes into another car, and we just see the bike fly off the overpass and hit the ground. They're like, oh fuck, where's JJ? And it turns out he's alive, and he's alive, brother. He's no actually dead. But as they're driving, this bit was retarded. They're telling Hopper, you can't be doing 50 and a 50, so we need to be doing 70. And he's like, well, hold on here, that's just going to attract attention, which of course it is. I get it right, crossing the back, you want to get to your location as soon as possible. And then as soon as he speeds up, the cross falls off the back, it breaks open. Turns out the cross isn't even real, it's a fake, it's no in there. And then we cut to Rafe and Barry. Turns out that they're the two that actually stole it. And it turns out they're melting the cross down for gold. So Popey wanted the cross for his family heritage. But big Rafe and Barry. I actually like Rafe and Barry. I mean, they're supposed to be like the antagonists. And they're fucking the best thing about the show. Country Club. As Big Barry would say. But either they're melting down the cross. So they've just hoovered all the heritage out of it. And they're going to sell it for a profitable amount of money. And I'm for it. So I thought that was a decent ending, right? That the Pogues didn't get their thing. But this show, it doesn't like killing people off. Like, realistically, I get it. I'm not saying everyone dies for flying head first off a bike off an overpass and falling 30 feet. Like, but I mean, most people probably would die from that. But I mean, just kill some people off for fuck's sake. I don't get the gimmick of having to keep people alive. Like, you thought Big John was dead, then he comes back. Then you thought Rafe was probably going to die. He's alive. Next, they'll bring out Sheriff Peterkin, even though she got shot in the head and neck. Anyway, that's us. We're rating this episode out of 10. I mean, yeah, 5. I mean, it was it was good, like, but some of the stuff was ridiculous, and that takes, I'll say good, it was alright, it was average, but some believability factors got weighed in here. So until episode 6, peace.